Good day, viewers. Please, let's purify our souls first. Nastaghfirullahi, nastaghfirullahi, nastaghfirullahi. Na'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Allahumma irhamna. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa nashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Allahumma ij'alna mina tawabina waj'alna mina mutatahhirin. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi aliyyil azim. La ilaha illallah subhanahu zahirul batin. هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو على كل شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله وصلى الله على خير خلقه ونور الأرشه عبد الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيبنا وسيدنا وسندنا وشفينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. نشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله وأن عيسى عبد الله وابن عمته وكلمته ألقاها إلى مريم وروح منه وأن الجنة حق والنار حق. Please, for those of you who don't understand this prayer, you are free to contact me and I will tell you the meaning, and any quotation that I make in this video, you are please free to contact me, so I will tell you the meaning. We've dealt with pairing before, and like I said, pairing will never finish with it until the end of the world. Today we want to go into diversity, because from pairing you go to the diversity in the world and diversity in the Quran. Before then, however, I will add one aspect of pairing. You see, even the air we breathe in, I said pairing involves both material things and immaterial things. Even the air we breathe in involves pairing. We breathe in and we breathe out. That's pairing. Apart from that, scientists have told us the air we breathe in is different from the air that we breathe out. May God bless them. They say we breathe in oxygen and then we breathe out carbon dioxide. Isn't that an aspect of pairing? And isn't that wonderful? Because nobody sees oxygen and nobody sees carbon dioxide. That's what God says. Pairing includes what we don't know about. Now, I also want to mention one thing that has come to mind, and that is COVID-19. The number 19, what does it stand for in the Quran? It is there in the Quran 19, and it reads, Alayha tis'ata ashara. I repeat, Alayha tis'ata ashara. Over it, 19. What does it mean stand over it? That's over hell. And that's tis'ata ashara. That number tis'ata ashara, what does it mean? It stands for 19 angels. That means over hell, there are 19 angels. I.e., there are 19 angels guarding hell. So, is it coincidence that this virus is named 19? It is not. I have said it before, and I don't need to go back to it. I will only tell you the verses that refer to it, and that is, you will see Fatir, Surah Al-Fatir. And Fatir means originator of creation. And that will be Surah 74, verse 30. You see it. Fatir Alayha Tis'ata Ashara. And that is Surah Al-Mudathir, or one wrapped up. Now, if you go to Surah Al-Fatir is rather, Surah Al-Mudathir is rather 74 verse 30. And you will get it there. Alayha Tis'ata Ashara. Then you go to, if you want to know that Surah COVID-19 and then 2019 is no coincidence, you can now go to Fatir, which is Surah 35 verse 11. And you can see another aspect of it, that it is not coincidental. You will see Surah 3, that is Imran, verse 145. Then you go to Surah Hud, which is 11, verse 6. Then you go to Surah 6, An'am, that is verse 57. You see that it is no coincidence that COVID-19 is named after hell and the angels guarding it. That's 19. Now, if you go to, let's consider that you have a basket. You put 2 oranges in it, 2 bananas, 2 avocados, 2 mangoes, 2 this, 2 that, 2 that. So you have a series of pears. But then, if you consider all together, then you come to have a variety of fruits. And variety is diversity of fruits. So you will come to see that pairing and diversity go together. Now, I will read to you another verse or 2 which include pairing. Let's go to Surah Al-Layl. That's Surah 92, verse 4. And it reads, Inna sayakum la shata. In other words, your efforts are diverse. So, diversity also doesn't include only, it includes immaterial things, because effort is immaterial apart from the material things you have. Because you come out at night, you look into the sky, you see so many, uncountable number of stars, which are diverse in shape and size and distance from us. You see stars that are far, far, far away from us. Some are shining more than others, and some are very, very visible, others not. You can never count them. That is diversity ordained by God. Now, on earth here, you will see that everywhere around you there is diversity. Somebody has a supermarket. That's not the only supermarket. You turn right, you see supermarket. Left, you see supermarket. All around you, supermarket. In our local markets, somebody sells mangoes. That's not the only person who sells mangoes. You go around, you see so many people selling mangoes. That's another aspect of diversity. I'll read the whole verse, the whole chapter, Layla, to you, and then you can see that there is diversity in it all over the place. For instance, when I read, you go to Surah 5, the 5th surah, you see this that I have read to you already. Inna sayakum la shata, your efforts are diverse. Then you consider, when I go further, you consider, if you have a Quran at home, you will look at them, you will see that, you will look at it, you will see Surah 5, the 5th surah. You will also see, you compare it with the 8th surah, you see that there is pairing in it and it's opposite. You look at Surah 7, and then when you get to Surah 10, you see that there is pairing in it and it's opposite. You go to Surah 6, and then you go to 9, you see that there is pairing in it and they are opposite. And all of them come together to give diversity. So let me read the surah for you. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى وَمَا هَلَكَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنثَى إِنَّ سَعْيَكُمْ لَشَتَّى فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى وصدق بالحسنى فسنيسره للأسرى وأما من بخل واستغنى وكذب بالحسنى فسنيسره للأسرى وما يغني عنه ماله إذا تردى إن علينا للهدى وإن لنا للآخرة والأولى فانصرتكم نارا تلظى لا يصلاها إلا الأشقى الذي كذب وتولى وسيجنبها الأتقى الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى ولسوف يرضى. So those of you who have the Quran in your homes, you look at the surahs that I've named, you see that 5, your efforts are diverse, is there. Then, when you get to Surah 5, you see that the opposite side of it can be found in Surah 8. Then you go to Surah 7. The opposite aspect of it is in Surah 10. Then you go to Surah 6. The opposite part of it is Surah 9. So you see, the Quran is full of parents and diversity. Then, there is this aspect of it, this Surah 2. وَجَعَلَكُمْ الْأَرْضَ مَهَدًا وَسَعَلَكُمْ فِيهَا سُبُلًا وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً فَأَخْرَجْنَا بِهِ أَزْوَاجًا مِنْ نَبَاتٍ شَتَّى. We made for you the earth as a carpet, and we made easy for you in it paths or ways, and we bring down rain from above for you, and from the rain we produce for you plants of diverse nature. That's diversity again. We produce for you plants of diverse nature. I'll read it again. وَجَعَلْ لَكُمْ الْأَرْضَ مَهْدًا وَسَعَ لَكُمْ فِيهَا سُبُلًا وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً فَأَخْرَجْنَا بِهِ أَزْوَاجًا مِنْ نَبَاتٍ شَتَّى. That's various parts of plant. That's also an aspect of pairing. So, you see that in the Quran, there is pairing all over the place. There is this other surah, this 99, Surah 99, verse 6. You will see, يومئذ يهدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم. Ashtatan is another aspect of pairing. Ashtatan means you'll be sorted out in groups. That is pairing. On that day, it means on that day will men proceed in groups sorted out to be shown their deeds, the deeds that they did, or the deeds that they had done. So that's another aspect of pairing. So you see, the whole Quran is full of pairing and diverse. Sorry, I wanted to say diverse. So the whole Quran is full of pairing and diverse. Then, let's go to the prophets in the Quran. The Quran tells us there are 25 prophets. Let's consider them. They begin from Adam, and they end with Muhammad alayhi salam. You see that Adam begins with A and begins with M, and the name Muhammad also begins with M, but then it starts from A to M. So Adam to Muhammad. You see the coincidence in it. Adam begins A and ends with M. And the prophets of Islam also begin with A and end with M. M meaning the meaning of M being the name Muhammad. You see that there is diversity in the Quran. Some live very long, like Noah, more than 1,000 years, 1,350. And the end of it, Muhammad, who lives about 60 years. So that's pairing. In fact, Jesus alayhi salam lived 33 years. Isn't it diversity nature to tell us that we shouldn't expect everything to be equal? Anywhere we go, we must expect pairing. So let's go to Adam. You see that Adam lived 1,000 years. In fact, some say 936. It doesn't matter. The differences don't matter because all theologians have to be thanked. We have to be grateful for them for taking time to find out things concerning God. Those who say 936, may God bless them. Those who say 1,000, may God bless them. It's not easy. Nobody can. It's not easy to do those things. So, if you go to Adam, you go to Surah uh, 76 verse 1, you will see something there concerning Adam. You will see that Adam gave birth 20 times, male and female, male and female, male and female. But we don't have it. It's not common. And so that is it. He was a messenger. He was a messenger in that he was brought to tell people about life, how to live. For instance, when he died, it was angels who buried him. Angels came, dug underground, and put him there to tell mankind how we should dispose of our death. And that is Adam. Even though when his son died, Abel or Habil, either Abel in English or Habil in Arabic, he was buried by a ravine, that's a bed. But when it came to himself, that God sent down angels to come and bury him, to tell us how to bury people. Now, we now go to Idris. Sorry, let me count them. Let me call them first. So they are Adam, Idris, Noah or Nuhu, Abraham, Ismail, Ishaq, Yaqub, Joseph, Eunice, Hud, Salih, Lot, Job, Zulkifli, Shuaib, Aaron, Moses, Dawood, Suleiman, Ilyasa, Zachariah, John, Jesus, and Muhammad. So, we've done with Adam. You go to Noah. You see that, like I said, Noah lived 1,350 years. Please, differences don't matter here because I say we have to commend the theologians. Theologians tell us he lived for 50 years before being ordained as a prophet. Then as a prophet, he lived 950 years. Then after prophetship, he lived another 350 years. And that is Noah. You will see that his great grandfather was Idris, who lived shorter than both Noah and Adam. Theologians tell us, some say he lived 82 years, some say 308 years, but it's agreed that he was taken up. God took him up to heaven and brought him down. So I think that's where the discrepancy comes from. Enoch was the first person to use the pen, al-kalamo. Did you know that? He was the first person to use the al-kalamo. And it is said that he was one of the early children of Adam. So Idris, actually, who is Enoch, in Arabic we say Enoch. He lived, like I say, some say 32, some say 308 years. And he was the first to use the pen. Did we know that? That is also diversity. Then we go to Noah. Abraham. Abraham lived 175 years. Please take note of their longevity, how long they lived. 1,350, then 1,000, then 308 or 82, then Abraham 175 years. And Abraham's father was Azar. The Bible tells us it's terror. It doesn't matter, like I say, no, it's not good to criticize people for no reason because they've all done their job. It could also mean that Terah and Azar are two names referring to the one and same person. So Abraham's father was Azar. He begot Ishmael at the age of 86 years. So you can imagine, at 86 years, he got his first child. So why do you worry if you are 60 years and you don't have a child? There is no change in the practice of God. It's there in the Quran. Sunnat Allah allati hatlat min qabli wala tajid li sunnatillahi tabdilan. The practice of God which has always been there, and there's no change in the practice of God. So you can still get a child at the age of 80. If you go to Zachariah, you see that he got his child John at the age of I think 99. He got Zachariah at the age of 99, while Abraham got Ismail at the age of 86. So you see the diversity. Now, you go to Ismail. Ismail lived for, his son Ismail lived for 137 years, while the father 175 years. Ismail was the first child of Abraham, and the mother was Hagar. And then we come to Isaac. Isaac, on the other hand, lived 180 years, and his wife was Rivkah. Then our Christians say Rebecca. Then we go to, and Sarah had two children, Al-Isa and then Yakub. Al-Isa actually means Jesus. So, and the Christians say Esau. But Esau and Jesus actually mean the same thing. So, one of the children of Sarah was actually called Jesus, which is Esau in Arabic. Isa in Arabic, or in Hebrew, Esau. So, Esau is actually Jesus. Now, we go to Yakub, or Jacob. Jacob lived 147 years. He spent the last 17 years in Egypt. And he is also called Israel. And Israel means the Spirit of God. Israel means the Spirit of God. And that is Jacob or Yakub. Then we come to Joseph or Yusuf. Joseph lived 110 years. And from Joseph, we come to Eunice or Jonah. Jonah is also called Zunun. Zunun because he was swallowed by a fish, a whale or whatever. He was swallowed in the water for his stubbornness. When God forgave the people of Nineveh, Eunice wasn't happy about it. He took a boat to get away from there. But God tell him, where are you going? The whole world is mine. That's why he brought about an accident in the sea, and he was swallowed by the fish. And while in the fish, God the Almighty gave him the sense to pray, and he was saved. So that is Eunice. And his lineage is traced to Benjamin and Joseph. So Eunice actually comes from the lineage of Benjamin and Joseph, who are two brothers. We come to Hud. Hud was a prophet, and Hud and Eunice are the Amalekites. And Hud's people were powerful. His people were the Ad people, and they were powerful. The Quran describes them as Bastatan. In fact, Hud's father was Ad, and they were desert Arabs. They worshipped other gods, and they were destroyed irrevocably by winds, 7 nights of wind and 8 days, 7 nights and 8 days of wind, and nothing was left of them. That is Hud. Now, we go to Salih or Salihu. Some say Salifu. You see that Salih's people were the true Arabs. Sorry, let me go to Ismail. Let me go back to Ismail. Ismail was not an Arab. In fact, Ismail, he was the first person to learn Arabic. So Ismail, actually, they were not Arabs. But Salih and his people, they were true Arabs. They too were stubborn. They worshipped other gods, and then God brought about earthquake to destroy them. So that is Salih. They were destroyed by an earthquake. Now, we go to Lot. Lot Abraham was his paternal grandfather. Mm, And it was in his time they practiced homosexuals. The Quran describes them as the people of the plain. The Bible describes them as Sodom and Gomorrah. Gomorrah. They are the same people. So that is Lot. Uh, then you come to Job or Ayuba. Job lived for 93 years. He had 26 children, you see. So while Abraham and Zachariah had difficulty in having children, Job actually had even 26. This is variety or diversity, if you like. So God expects us to find diversity in life and not to worry excessively over inequalities in life. So Job at 93 had 26 children, and it includes Bashir. And Bashir is also called Zunun. And Job's mother was the daughter of Lot or Lut. But his lineage actually is in dispute. The theologians haven't been able to come to conclusion or into agreement about his lineage. And his father, so he was a grandchild of Lut. Then he gave birth to Bisru, that's Zulkifl. In Quran it's called Zulkifli, the one who pledged to judge fairly. So Zulkifli he pledged to judge fairly, and he was a king. Now, we go to Shuaib. Shuaib, his people were cheating people. The cheating was so much, and his mother was the daughter of Lut. The cheating was so much so that God brought a calamity on them. First, he brought heat on them. Heat said that their water boiled. Their waters boiled. And then he brought up onto them clouds of shade to deceive them. They went under the shade, and then God rained on them. God brought about earthquake underneath them. Then fire in addition, and destroyed them totally. Now we come to Aaron, who is the senior brother of Moses. Aaron lived 122 years. He was born 3 years before Moses, and he died 10 months before Moses. He was born 3 years before Moses, and he died 10 months before Moses. And his sisters were Mary and Elizabeth. They were his sisters. Now, but at his time, Jews were then unknown. Jews were then unknown at the time of Aaron. Now, we go to Moses, who is actually the brother of Moses, like I said, who lived 120 years. His brother Aaron lived 122 years. And he read the Torah before David. So before David, there was actually the Torah or Taurat in the Bible. Well, theologians tell us the Torah and the Taurat also had been tampered with. So it's not the Torah we know of today, or it's not the Torah we know of today. Now, we go to Dawood. Dawood lived 100 years. Please take note of their ages, like I said. Dawood lived 100 years, and God made iron malleable to him. He could twist nylon like a rope. And he was the grandchild of Yehuza, the son of Yakub. And one of his children is called Rab'an. We go to Suleiman. That's my namesake. Suleiman bin Dawood, bin Isha, bin Uwaid, bin Yahuza, bin Yaqub, bin Ishaq, bin Ibrahim, bin Azar. We go to Suleiman. Suleiman died at the age of 52. Isn't that young compared to Noah? Probably so many years. What was it? What was the division? 50 divided by 1,000. That will be about 20 times. So Noah lived about 20 times the age of Suleiman. Theologians tell us Suleiman became king at the age of 12. Isn't that wonderful? And then theologians also tell us that Mary, Isa, the mother of Isa, gave birth at the age of 13. So while Mary gave birth at the age of 13, Suleiman became king at the age of 12. That is variety for you. He died at 52. That means he ruled for 40 years. Yes, Suleiman or Solomon lived for 40, reigned for 40 years. We go to Eliasa. And Eliasa or Eliasin. Eliasin healed Eliasa, who is Eliasa is son of Yaqub, and Eliasin was lifted up to God. That's what the theologians tell us. He was lifted up to God. He didn't die. And his people were also stubborn, and